Lessons I've learned from on-site inspections. Most of you may or may not know this, but when somebody is looking for a classic Mercedes, they frequently reach out to me and ask for my help. And so this is a service that I charge a little bit for it, but I don't really make that much money from it. It's just kind of a fun job for me, and someone will have me fly to a city, look at a car for them for $500 and then pay my airfare and stuff. So that's what I do some weekends. And recently, this past weekend, I was in Phoenix looking at a beautiful 280 SL for a person that I think really truly appreciates a good 280 SL. My friend John. So if you're watching this, hi John. The thing though that I've started to learn from this that I wanted to share with all of you is that there's nothing like looking at a car in person, especially when you're knowledgeable about the car. Some of the first things I've learned, and this really applies if you're buying a car off of the internet, is that most sellers actually are not aware of all the small details that their cars might be lacking. For this case, some buyers might be too, which is important because you need to research using photos. Photos of a correct engine and correct undercarriage are really important when you're buying a Mercedes at the top. And in this case, even though this was a really great car, there were some small details that needed to be rectified that not even the owner knew about. Second of all, I find that a lot of the mechanics that are working on the cars don't even really have a totally clear picture about what's right and what isn't. And you can fly and look at a car where they say everything's running good and everything's running right, but you really need to drive the car and check it out yourself to see what could be better, or if the work really appears and functions like good work does. If a car has if a Mercedes has a rebuilt engine in it, but it has low oil pressure at idle and it runs hot, you're not going to catch these things unless you do a test drive for the car. If the car has a bunch of small oil leaks under it, these are not going to show up in photographs. If the car has some small missing parts, they're not going to show up in photographs. So thankfully the 280 that we looked at really was a great car. I didn't really have any major complaints about it. But there are other cars that I've looked at in the past where I've gotten there and I've just said, oh my gosh, throw this one back. So what does it cost? Well, I'm telling you this from your perspective, from my perspective, if I was going to go out and look at a car for myself, by myself. So we're taking the time out of the equation of the person who's looking at it. But I found that with hotel and airfare and all that good stuff, it's like $600, $700. And if you're buying an expensive car like a 280 SL or a 300 SEL 6.3, that money and maybe the 24 hours you'll spend traveling is totally worth it, because you could save thousands of dollars by spending hundreds of dollars if the car is a turd, or you can save thousands of dollars by spending hundreds of dollars if you're getting a good deal on an exceptional car. So this is the way that things should go, but you really need to know what you're getting before you see it. And in these days of impulsiveness and instant gratification, and oh my gosh, I clicked on this, I don't know why I'm buying it, but I'm buying it. These sorts of decisions really should not be made without inspecting a car in person. You can't spend $50,000 or $60,000 on a car like a 300 SEL 6.3 without looking at the car in person and knowing what you're looking at when you're there. So research is always good. But for this service, I charge about $500, give or take $100, depending on where the car is. And plus all the travel expenses, and I think I've helped a lot of people through these kinds of situations where they had an opportunity to buy a car that they thought was a good car and it turned out to be a turd. Anyway, for more information on our on-site services, please email me at mbownersforlife@bellsouth.net. I'm not trying to sell myself, but some people out there watching might need my help. They have asked before, so. And in the meantime, if you're looking at buying a Mercedes that's across the country, try to go see it yourself, to make sure that you know what you're actually getting when you spend $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe if you haven't yet, and please like, share, and hit the bell for notifications. And if you have any comments or you want to share your own story about buying a great Mercedes or buying a not so great Mercedes that you regretted, please share it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy driving your Mercedes Benz.